It was crazy, entertaining work at that particular time. So I said, you know what? I like this kid.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it.
Floyd Mayweather was reportedly left stunned after watching leaked training footage of Terence Crawford preparing for his showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Sources close to Mayweather say he was impressed Crawford's speed, footwork, and razor-sharp combinations exceeded expectations. The video reignited global interest and intensified speculation around what's shaping up to be one of the most high-stakes battles in recent boxing memory.
That we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off.
Jeff Mayweather, a respected voice in boxing, has gone on record praising Crawford's abilities and hinted at something even bigger. He floated the idea that if Crawford beats Canelo, it could open the door to a truly legendary matchup. Crawford versus Floyd, while Mayweather is now 48, Jeff noted that he's still in remarkable shape. And if the public clamors loud enough, the undefeated icon might just listen. It's a long shot, but in boxing, legends are built on long shots.
I mean, of course, if he gets past Canelo, he can fight as many bums as he wants to, just to make the record.
Do you think he would do that, or do you think he would?
I don't know. He seemed like he's a class act, and he seemed like he'll do whatever he feels. But I don't know. I mean, at what you said, 37?
37, yeah.
37. Yeah, that's still a lot of fights though.
Yeah, so he'd have 40. So he still need 9 more to pass him. After that, and the way people fight these days.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
Throughout his career, Terence Crawford has looked to Mayweather not just as a fighter, but as a blueprint. From technical brilliance to business acumen, Floyd laid the foundation for what it means to control your legacy. Crawford has studied that formula and applied it. He's taken Floyd's teachings, from training details to mental discipline, and forged his own dominant path. It's not imitation, it's evolution. It's a silent exchange of greatness between two men who share the same fire.
Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grind. I always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type to me.
Like plot.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
When Floyd Mayweather outclassed a young Canelo Alvarez in 2013, he delivered a defensive masterclass that exposed the young star's limitations. It was more than a win, it was a message. The fight still echoes in the background of every Canelo breakdown. More than a decade later, Crawford is stepping into that same storm. And the boxing world can't help but wonder, can he do what Floyd did?
Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts. And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill.
In a sharp comment that stirred headlines, Mayweather questioned boxing's double standards when it comes to drug testing without naming names. The subtext was clear. Canelo's past controversies continue to follow him, and Mayweather's words reminded everyone that fairness and transparency are more important than ever, especially in a bout where size, strength, and legacy are on the line.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Mayweather didn't just critique, he gave Crawford the keys. Recalling his own victory over Canelo, Floyd stressed the power of finesse over brute force. It's not about landing the harder punch, it's about timing, positioning, and staying 2 steps ahead. In Mayweather's eyes, Crawford has the mental sharpness and adaptive skill set to pull it off. But execution will be everything.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it 2 different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, was at 152. Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Canelo Alvarez still commands immense support, but questions are growing louder. His recent performances have lacked the speed and snap of his prime. Critics have noticed the slowing feet, the heavier movements. Meanwhile, Crawford looks sharper than ever, fluid, fast, locked in. The contrast in trajectories makes this fight even more intriguing. Is this the moment the torch gets passed?
After last night, I think Canelo versus Crawford is a much closer fight than I originally thought, although I do still favor Canelo to win. When this fight was first being talked about after Crawford beat Madrimov and Canelo beat Berlanga, I thought Crawford had around a 10 to 15% chance. I mean, he looked undersized at 154, barely got past Madrimov, and I thought Canelo would be too big, too powerful for him. But you look at Canelo last night, he's declining every single fight. I mean, his volume in the first few rounds is non-existent. He struggled to cut off the ring. He doesn't throw as many combinations. His speed is slower. He hasn't gotten a knockout in 4 years. And that's nothing against Canelo. He's been boxing for 20 years. But he looks 70% of what he used to be in his prime. Whereas Crawford, he's got solid counters, and he can definitely bang some rounds. Now, the reason I do still favor Canelo is Bud hasn't fought at 160 or 168 pounds. You know, he's moving up 2 divisions. He's going to be out of the ring for 13 months. And we just saw Ryan Haney look extremely rusty off a layoff a couple of days ago. I'm sure that ring rust will affect Bud as well. And not to mention, he is 37 years old. But if I had to make an early prediction, I think this is a 7-5 Canelo type of fight. Originally, I had Canelo steamrolling Bud in 8 to 9 rounds, but this is a lot closer than I initially.
Crawford isn't trying to copy Floyd's style. Fighters like Golovkin and Mayweather each had success in different ways against Canelo. But Crawford's toolset is unique. His ambidexterity, timing, and ability to switch rhythm in real time. Give him a fresh approach. This fight isn't about replication. It's about rewriting the script. Crawford's camp knows they must take Canelo somewhere he's never been before.
Yeah. How is Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there. Why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. Well, both can have a bit of similarities. The speed, reflexes, technical prowess, counter punching, lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ. the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan, come into a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to.
Some analysts argue that Crawford can't simply borrow from Mayweather's blueprint and expect the same result. Canelo has evolved. Others, like Dimitri Bivol, beat him using length, precision, and pace. Crawford, they say, must win this in a way no one has before. He'll likely fight off the back foot, looking for counter opportunities. His jab will serve as both a weapon and a disruptor. Sparring footage shows him drilling against Canelo's pressure style, adapting, adjusting, and staying fluid. The strategy is clear: confuse, control, and counter.
Watch the right hand for the decoy.
Y'all know chess? Yes. Nice. That's how Star work. You know how to work. You know how to get the most out of everything. Good job, Trey.
But it's not just about skill. Crawford's team is betting big on his heart. His coach made it plain, this isn't just about size or strength. It's about resolve. Crawford has been underestimated before, and each time, he's delivered. The message to Canelo is simple: don't let the frame fool you. There's a warrior inside that frame who isn't backing down from anything.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We going to do everything we can to him. We going to do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is going to step to him, because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something. And he better know Crawford is coming.
Oscar De La Hoya, speaking from experience, voiced concerns about the legitimacy of the matchup. He warned that the size jump could be too dangerous even for someone as skilled as Crawford. In Oscar's view, the hype might be overshadowing the real risks, and that could make this more spectacle than sport.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game. Unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again. It's a money grab. That's it. Yeah.
But Crawford doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally, and he's in his peak, he's in his prime. And so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it. Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
Juan Manuel Marquez echoed those worries, pointing out that weight classes exist for a reason. He respects Crawford's achievements, but fears that moving too far beyond his natural frame is a recipe for disaster. To Marquez, this isn't just about skill, it's about survival in a fight that could push Crawford past his physical limits.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, he has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for yeah. And Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimo.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination of punches. But I think the weight class is no good for him.
On the flip side, Caleb Plant offered a more balanced view. While acknowledging Canelo's natural size advantage, he emphasized that Crawford's mind is his greatest weapon. In Plant's eyes, ring IQ can close the gap, and Crawford has the kind of cerebral edge that could turn the tide. This might not be as lopsided as it looks.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, be able to find out firsthand.